dan cadangan tersebut juga tertakluk kepada kelulusan peruntukan ruang tapak yang mencukupi dan sesuai dan disediakan oleh daerah Kuala Penyu. Sekian, Tuan Speaker.
Ahli-ahli yang berhormat, sesi soal jawab sudah selesai.
Rang Undang-Undang Tanah Pindaan 2012 bacaan pertama.
Yang amat berhormat Ketua Menteri.
Datuk Speaker, saya mohon mengemukakan satu rang undang-undang untuk memindah Ordinan Tanah dalam kurungan bab 68.
Rang Undang-Undang Tanah Pindaan 2012.
Bacaan kedua bila?
Hari ini, Datuk Speaker.
Baiklah.
Rang Undang-Undang Tanah Pindaan 2012 bacaan kedua.
Datuk Speaker, saya memohon mencadangkan bahawa rang undang-undang itu dibacakan pada kali yang kedua sekarang. Datuk Speaker, saya memohon membentangkan rang undang-undang Tanah Pindaan 2012 untuk bacaan kedua. Datuk Speaker, rang undang-undang Tanah Pindaan 2012 ini adalah bertujuan untuk tidak membenarkan pemberi milikan tanah kerajaan di kawasan-kawasan tertentu yang dinyatakan dalam jadual baru 2A Ordinan Tanah Bab 68 adalah dengan ini dicadangkan untuk dipindah dengan satu, memasukkan selepas Section 9 section yang berikut. No alienation of state land in certain area. Section 9A yang berbunyi, notwithstanding Section 9, there shall be no alienation of state land in the area specified in Schedule 2A. Kedua, memasukkan sebelum jadual 3, jadual 2A yang berikut, yaitu Schedule 2A dalam kurungan Section 9A, mohon maaf Datuk Speaker, Section 9A, nombor 1, locality Kota Kinabalu Seafront, approximate area in hectares, yaitu 3,830 acres ataupun 1,550 hectares. Plan nombor 01126813. Datuk Speaker, bagi maksud ini, kawasan yang dicadangkan untuk dimaksudkan dalam jadual 2A kali ini adalah kawasan di sepanjang pesisir pantai Tanjung Aru hinggalah ke Teluk Likas dan sebahagian kawasan laut berhadapan dengan Bandaraya Kota Kinabalu, yaitu antara pesisir pantai Bandaraya Kota Kinabalu dengan Pulau Gaya. Jumlah keluasan kawasan yang terlibat adalah lebih kurang 1,550 hektar. Datuk Speaker, pembangunan yang tidak terkawal di kawasan pesisir pantai di negeri Sabah, terutamanya di sekitar pantai Tanjung Aru hingga Teluk Likas, telah diambil perhatian serius dan dibincangkan pada mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri pada 8 bulan Februari 2012 yang lalu. Jemaah Menteri seterusnya memutuskan agar pendekatan serta tindakan yang tegas diambil bagi menjamin agar kawasan-kawasan tanah kawasan tertentu tidak diberi milik dan seterusnya memastikan kawasan berkenaan terpelihara dan tidak dibangunkan sewenang-wenangnya. Dasar dan garis panduan sedia ada yang digunakan pakai sekarang seperti dasar pembekuan pembangunan pesisir pantai dan laut dan plan pengurusan pesisir pantai Sabah ataupun Sabah Shoreline Management Plan adalah didapati longgar dan tidak memadai untuk menghalang pemberi milikan tanah di kawasan-kawasan berkenaan yang dimaksudkan. Rang undang-undang ini adalah difikirkan sebagai pendekatan terbaik untuk mengawal kawasan-kawasan tanah kerajaan tertentu yang perlu dilindungi sepenuhnya tanpa sebarang keraguan dan kebimbangan, khususnya terhadap pihak-pihak tertentu yang mungkin akan mengambil kesempatan melalui proses perundangan. Datuk Speaker, kepesatan pembangunan negeri Sabah yang kita nikmati sekarang bukanlah alasan untuk mengorbankan khazanah alam semula jadi yang tidak ternilai harganya. Pembangunan yang tidak terancang hanya akan merosakkan alam semula jadi, keindahan, keunikan dan landscape Bandaraya Kota Kinabalu yang menjadi kebanggaan kita bersama. Rang undang-undang ini juga sebenarnya adalah selari dengan konsep pembangunan lestari Bandaraya Kota Kinabalu yang ingin menjadikan bandaraya ini sebagai Nature Resort Center City atau bandaraya semula jadi dengan pembangunan yang terancang, mapan, mesra dan sejahtera menjelang 2020. Datuk Speaker, tindakan kerajaan ini adalah sebagai pelengkap serta pendukung kepada usaha-usaha konservasi yang sentiasa menjadi keutamaan kerajaan. Lebih penting lagi, tindakan kerajaan ini pada hakikatnya adalah manifestasi kepada aspirasi rakyat serta ketulusan dan keikhlasan kerajaan sebagai pemegang amanah rakyat Sabah. Khazanah semula jadi ini adalah milik rakyat Sabah dan oleh itu perlu dipelihara demi masa depan serta kesejahteraan negeri dan rakyat Sabah keseluruhannya. Datuk Speaker, dengan kata-kata demikian saya mohon mencadang. Sekian, terima kasih.
Ahli-ahli yang berhormat, masalahnya ialah bahawa rang undang-undang itu dibacakan bagi kali yang kedua dan terbuka untuk dibahas. Ada ahli yang berucap? Pantai Manis.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam satu Malaysia dan selamat menyambut bulan Ramadan Al-Mubarak. Selamat berpuasa. Terima kasih Tuan Speaker kerana memberi peluang kepada saya untuk membahas rang undang-undang ini. Saya ucapkan syabas dan tahniah kepada kerajaan kerana akhirnya berpijak di bumi yang nyata. Saya katakan demikian kerana pada masa-masa yang sudah ada pihak-pihak tertentu yang pernah jadi ketua menteri menggunakan modus operandi melalui MLG, Ministry of Local Government.
Boleh minta laluan tak sikit?
Baru mulai ini. Menggunakan modus operandi melalui MLG dan sewenang-wenangnya. Sewenang-wenangnya menggunakan kuasa yang tidak terhingga sehingga kerajaan negeri nyaris-nyaris kehilangan harta yang cukup berharga. Mujurlah baru-baru ini satu tindakan mahkamah telah berpihak kepada kerajaan dan saya ucapkan syabas dan tahniah kepada Ketua Menteri. Tuan Speaker, sama ada kita suka atau tidak, setiap wakil rakyat yang dipilih di bawah spanduk Barisan Nasional adalah wajah Barisan Nasional dalam erti kata yang sebenar. We are the real image of the Barisan National Government. Saya percaya bahawa wakil rakyat, terutama sekali dari Barisan Nasional, sepatutnya tidak menghadkan atau membuat persepadanan tentang peranan dan tanggungjawabnya. Lebih-lebih lagi apabila kita bercakap atau mengetengahkan masalah rakyat, kerana kita sebenarnya mewakili suara Barisan Nasional dalam semua peringkat, dalam semua tempat dan kepada semua masyarakat. Ia bukan soal di mana kita berada atau siapa diri kita pada hari ini. Apa yang paling penting ialah kita adalah Barisan Nasional dan kitalah yang memikul dan menterjemahkan harapan, impian dan aspirasi rakyat. Saya ucapkan syabas dan tahniah kepada kerajaan kerana mengambil tindakan yang cukup berani.
Hormat Pantai Mas, api-api berdiri.
Yang berhormat Datuk Speaker, thank you for
giving me the chance. I'd like to follow on with what Yang Berhormat Pandai Manis has said, that this government is in the process of looking after the interests of the Rakyat, and it has been mentioned the purpose of this particular amendment to the Land Ordinance 2012, which is basically to delineate an area of the seafront to ensure that that particular area of the sea, important to the state, important to the people, important to the whole country, will not be alienated to any parties who might have other vested interests. And this is very important in line with the philosophy, the wisdom, and also what the Prime Minister has said, people's first, rakyat didahulukan. And this is even more so when we look at the background, as has been mentioned by Yang Berhormat Pandai Manis, that in the past we have many examples of people, parties with vested interests wanting to do certain things against the interests of the people. And Yang Berhormat, the Speaker, as has been mentioned, we in fact are worried about incident of this recurring. This government is not in the interest of hurting people. This government is in the business of protecting the interests of people. Whatever policy we do, whatever policy we implement, it is always in the interest of the people. And we have objection to the policies that we implement. We have criticism to the policies of this government. If you look carefully, they are always from people who in fact have their own vested interests, have their hidden agenda. In fact, what is worse, these are sometimes from people who had the chance of governing the state, but not in the way it should have been governed. For example, as has been mentioned by Yang Berhormat Pandai Manis, just to be more specific as far as the particular alienation is concerned, when a government whose heart is not with the people, whose heart is with certain vested interests, they would alienate land for commercial purpose to certain land application. And this certainly is a fact. I can cite it. I've got the facts here, and I will say it for the purpose of illustrating the point why this amendment should go through unanimously, and even hopefully the opposition, those who are not with BN, can see the principle and know the only right thing to do is to support this amendment. We want to ensure the interests of the state, the interests of the people eventually will be protected. We have many requests as far as the seafront is concerned to be more particular. The Ministry of Tourism, through many visitors from outside, the Chief Minister, from all the courtesy calls from the various NGOs, have made requests. Please protect our heritage. Please protect our asset. And the sea is, of course, one of them. And if you look at the record of this government, we have many times pushed through legislation, amending the Constitution if necessary, in order to protect our asset, such as the gazette, areas of the jungle, the forest, so that it will be protected, not for us, not for our children, but for all the future generation. And if you look at it globally, this is very important if you want to look at, for example, the protection of environment. And this particular bill has got vision, and its interest is with the people. And this is actually a poignant moment for us to look at what actually would be the risk if we don't push it through. If you remember, for the purpose of the record, back in the period of 1997 and 1998, when Dato' Yong Tet Lee was the Chief Minister, there were applications to land which were approved when he was the Chief Minister. 350 acres at Teluk Likas for commercial purpose. And then 200 acres at Tanjung Aru C for commercial purpose, and 330 acres at Kota Kinabalu seafront for commercial purpose. And that was during the time when Yang Lee was the chief minister. And this is something that we want to contrast. What is this government trying to do? Please don't mislead people. When your heart is with the people, people can see. People are not blind. You don't have to actually, just because you can scream louder, just because you can incite the young people to go on the internet, to go and talk something which is irresponsible, and therefore you can cover the facts. The facts will remain the facts. We want to make sure this is what actually is the fact. We want to make sure if that is something that is right, we will do it, irrespective of what you would say. And this is something right we want to do. And in fact, talking about misleading, we find it quite interesting, quite surprising as well, that the ongoing issue, ongoing argument of the courthouse, the land of the courthouse, it is something that we have to say it again and again. It is something very simple. The court, the legal system is within the jurisdiction of the federal government. The state government has no say in it. And the property, the court building itself, is also under the federal government. The federal government pay the water bill, pay the electricity bill, they engage their own staff. The state government has no say. Now, but we know the court, the school, the hospital, even though are under the federal government's jurisdiction, but being a responsible government, a state government, we want to facilitate whatever changes, whatever improvement they want to carry out in order to serve the interests of the state better. For example, if the education ministry want to build more schools, the state government will provide them with more land. If the hospital, if the Ministry of Health want to build more a hospital, we will provide them with more land. Likewise, the courthouse is undergoing renovation because they let the government know they want to improve the facility of the courthouse. We know the courthouse is actually, the capacity has been exceeded by the demand, and therefore they want to improve it, they want to increase it. The state government, being the responsible state government, want to facilitate that. And in fact, we had discussion with the hierarchy of the judiciary, and they have actually made requests asking the state government to consider giving them area of land that they can actually improve the infrastructure of the legal system. We want to make sure that we don't miss the boat in order to serve the interests of the people better. And therefore, being a responsible state government, we offer to the federal government, the judicial system, look, there is another area of land which is bigger, which is better, that why don't you consider building a better legal complex to serve the state capital better and to serve the state better? And that's all. That's a fact. We have no say. If they might just decide, say, no, we don't want to have that. We can push them. They say, okay, we want to carry on with the existing one. We can push them. But we would like to encourage them. We want to persuade them. And we want to make sure that at the end of the day, the interests of the state will be served by the state government. Now, the opposition, having the record of what we have said just now, and I will say even more later on, how they behave, want to mislead the people, trying to paint the picture that we don't even know could happen. They say, all right, this is something that the state government is hanky-panky again. They want to move the courthouse to another place so that they can turn the present courthouse into a commercial area. Now, come on, for goodness sake. The courthouse doesn't belong to us. And we also, having said that, even though it doesn't belong to us, but if they do want to do anything, the state government will come to know about it. Why? Because it is within the jurisdiction of DBKK if there is any planning to be carried out. So we have checked with the mayor of Kota Kinabalu, and the mayor has confirmed there was no application. Now, how do you go around telling people that there was no such thing if you can't even tell them this is the fact? This is the fact. FSCT fact, you see? Don't paint the picture that we want you to believe this government is very naughty, they want to do this, they want to do that, and therefore they move the courthouse to another place. I don't know why they should have such an idea, unless they have the habit of doing such thing when they were in government. In fact, look at them. Dr. Yong Dat Lee has the habit of misleading people. I can say a lot of facts. Just mention a few. At the height of the share transfer between MBT and MISC and Sugar Bun, when the government was making a lot of losses, I got letters suing me for defamation. And as if it's not enough, Chief Minister at the time, Yong Dat Lee said, all is well, none is lost. It was in the big paper. All is well, none is lost. When so much money is lost, the Rakyat's money.
Correction, that was said by the Tuan Speaker, not by Yong Dat Lee.
Sila duduk.
Yeah. It was a speaker who made that
Yang
statement.
berhormat, sila duduk. Bercakap. Teruskan.
We have a regime where they have the habit, the record of misleading people, telling lies. Okay, all right. Let's be more specific about Yong Dat Lee.
You are the one who is telling lie.
Let's be more specific about Yong Dat Lee. Even just recently,
saya bagi laluan pada Menteri untuk menjawab, memberi ulasan.
Teruskan. Just not too long ago, in the very sacrosanct ceremony of presenting the wreath to the heroes at Putatan, the heroes, against the Japanese. I was there to represent the state government, presenting the wreath in Petagas. And Dr. Yong was there. I even shook hands with him. But the next day, the paper came out and said, state government has no one there, no representative. The state government did not respect this particular ceremony, and that the state government will not hold such a wreath presentation in the future. Now, how could you tell such a lie? I mean, that is Yong Dat Lee, all right? He has never come out to clarify even that. Come on, please, for goodness sake, just to show respect.
Out of topic already, Pak.
Don't out of topic. If a liar is a liar, out of topic. Come on, just sit down. All right. Please, come on. I've got lots and lots of more. Let's not be.
A lot of more to tell you. About you.
Yang Berhormat the Speaker. We all know. Let me tell you this. Why they want to be so adamant when this government has already said that we are only looking after the interests of the people. We want the Gazette, the sea, so that it will not be sold out by people whom I have mentioned just now.
Speaker, boleh saya
ni yang amat ni Ketua Menteri yang cakap sikit. Pantai manis YB Ketua Menteri. Okay, silakan.
Boleh.
Silakan YB.
Mr. Speaker, saya juga ingin menambah sebabnya utama mengapa kita mencadangkan pembentukan enakmen tanah yang baru ini adalah berdasarkan kepada kelemahan seperti yang dikatakan oleh Yang Berhormat DPRP, kelemahan daripada amalan terdahulu yang meluluskan kawasan-kawasan tanah yang strategik dengan sewenang-wenangnya, terutama di kawasan-kawasan tepi laut atau pesisir pantai kepada pihak-pihak yang tertentu. Saya telah menerima banyak komen daripada NGOs, daripada pelawat, dari pelancong asing seperti apa yang dikatakan rekan saya, bahwa negeri Sabah ini mempunyai kawasan pesisir pantai yang indah dan menarik, yang perlu dijaga dan dipelihara untuk dinikmati oleh kita dan generasi yang akan datang. Negeri Sabah bukanlah seperti negara Singapura ataupun Hong Kong yang punya tanah yang terhad sehingga pesisir pantai, our beautiful waterfront pun kita mau bangunkan atau mau timbun tanah. Jadi kita rasa ini yang penting. Oleh itu kita mestilah pelihara pantai kita ataupun kita punya waterfront ini untuk dinikmati bukan saja oleh kita tetapi generasi yang akan datang. Nah, jadi saya percaya tidak harus timbul keperluan untuk menimbus kawasan tepi laut ini atau pantai ini. Jadi maka itulah kita pelihara, maka itulah saya percaya mungkin ini dibangun tanah diadakan supaya di masa-masa hadapan tidak ada lagi mungkin orang-orang tertentu ataupun kerjaan sesuka-sukanya, sewenang-wenangnya untuk menimbus kawasan tepi pantai ini. Jadi saya suka katakan ini saya percaya adalah cara yang terbaik untuk kita memelihara, untuk kita menjaga kawasan pantai yang indah ini. Sekian, terima kasih.
Ini dia minta sedikit lagi penjelasan.
Saya minta laluan lagi.
Sedikit
Just 2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes, right?
Okay.
No, I think it is important. There is an important point here. This government is actually doing all the time, helping the people, assisting the people, protecting the interests of the people. And it has been not only misinterpreted, I think it has been, in a way, misconstrued deliberately. And especially by people who had the chance to actually do a lot of good things for the people but failed to do so and actually hurting the people and now coming back to say, we know it, we should sort it out. They say, look at, take for example, Saham Amanah Sabah. I was in the opposition. Now you say, Yimo Chai, you should know it, you should sort it out. I mean, for example, this is sort of when they were in the government, well, they talk a lot of misleading things. And now they are there, they are outside. They say, I should be the one who know it because I am now there. Please don't talk silly things like that. Coming back to the courthouse, for example, you might want to do something which you accuse of doing if you had the chance. Thank goodness you are no more there, you see. So this is what I'm saying, with permission. The Chinese say, 不要用小人之心度君子之腹. All right? What it means is that don't use the heart of a little man come and measure the tummy of a gentleman. All right? Okay. Please, you might want to do it yourself. In fact, by your continuous accusation, it is called a Freudian sleep. It's in your mind. You would have wanted to do it. You love to do it. Thank goodness Raya kick you out and don't want you to do it. All right? And this government will continue to protect the interests of the people. And let's hope so. This amendment will get the full support. And those who do not support, the Raya will know what to do with it. Thank you.
Tuan Speaker, terima kasih. Hujah-hujah saya macam itulah hampir-hampir.
Hujah-hujah yang mohon api-api dimasukkan dalam rekod ucapan yang hormat.
Jadi saya mohon menyokong.
Terima kasih.